in the life of Queen Elizabeth I. At 6 a.m, Queen Elizabeth would begin her day by waking up early. This early rising was common practice among nobility and royalty during the Tudor period, as it was believed that starting the day early allowed for more productivity and efficiency. Please continue to support my channel by subscribing. Upon waking, the Queen would be attended to by her ladies-in-waiting, who would help her and her morning routine, such as washing her face and hands, brushing her hair, and getting dressed. Elizabeth was known for her elaborate and fashionable attire, so dressing would have been a lengthy process involving multiple layers of clothing, including a chemise, corset, petticoat and gown, as well as accessories like jewellery and headpieces. Once she was dressed, Queen Elizabeth would participate in her morning prayers. As a devout Protestant, prayer was an important aspect of her daily life. She would often be accompanied by her chaplain during these prayers, and together they would recite prayers from the Book of Common Prayer or read passages from the Bible. This time spent in prayer would help the Queen to centre herself spiritually and mentally prepare for the busy day ahead. The practice of morning prayers also served as a demonstration of her commitment to the Protestant faith, which was crucial during her reign. Elizabeth sought to establish religious stability in England after the tumultuous reigns of her half-siblings, Edward VI and Mary I, who had supported Protestant and Catholic causes respectively. By starting her day with Protestant prayers, Elizabeth would be reaffirming her dedication to her faith and set an example for her subjects. At 7 a.m, Queen Elizabeth would have breakfast in her private chambers. Meals during the Tudor era were typically more modest compared to the extravagant feasts often associated with royalty. The Queen's breakfast would likely consist of simple fare such as bread, butter and ale, or watered-down wine. Since tea and coffee were not popular in England during her reign, ale or wine would be the preferred breakfast beverage, as the water was often considered unsafe to drink. During her breakfast, Queen Elizabeth would be attended to by her ladies-in-waiting, who would serve her food and ensure that she had everything that she needed. The ladies-in-waiting played an important role in the daily life of the Queen, as they were responsible for maintaining her well-being, helping with personal care, and providing companionship. Many of these women came from noble families and were chosen for their loyalty, intelligence, and social graces. While dining, the Queen might engage in casual conversation with her ladies-in-waiting, discussing topics such as the latest court gossip, fashion, or news from around the kingdom. Elizabeth was known for her wit and intelligence, so these conversations would likely be lively and engaging. Breakfast was typically a private and relatively quiet affair compared to other royal meals, giving the Queen an opportunity to ease into her day before embarking on her busy schedule of meetings, consultations, and public appearances. At 8 a.m, Queen Elizabeth would turn her attention to matters of state, meeting with her councillors, secretaries, and ambassadors to discuss various issues and receive updates on current affairs. These meetings would take place in the royal apartments or council chambers and could include a range of topics, such as domestic policies, foreign relations, military strategy, and financial matters. Elizabeth was known for her active involvement in the governance of her kingdom, and she valued the input of her trusted advisors. Some of the key figures in her government included William Cecil, Lord Burleigh, Sir Francis Walsingham, her principal secretary and spymaster, and Robert Dudley, the Earl of Leicester, a close friend and confidant. During these meetings, the Queen would listen to reports from her advisors, ask questions, and engage in debates. She was known for her sharp intellect and extensive knowledge on a wide range of subjects, which allowed her to make informed decisions and maintain control over her government. Elizabeth's hand-on approach to governance played a significant role in the stability and prosperity of her reign, and her decisions were often marked by a strong sense of pragmatism and a keen understanding of the political landscape. These meetings would also involve reviewing and signing important documents such as royal decrees, grants, and warrants. Elizabeth was conscious of her image as a monarch and took her duties seriously, ensuring that her decisions were well considered and in the best interest of her people. The 8 a.m. meetings were just the beginning of a long day of consultations, discussions, and decision-making for the Queen, who would continue to address various matters throughout the day, both in private meetings with her advisors and during her public appearances in court. Throughout her reign, Queen Elizabeth issued numerous royal decrees, also known as Acts of Parliament, to address various matters of state, religion, and society. Some of the most significant royal decrees during her reign included the Act of Supremacy. This decree re-established the monarch as the supreme governor of the Church of England, a title that had been first claimed by her father, King Henry VIII. This act reversed the pro-Catholic policies of her half-sister, Queen Mary I, and marked the beginning of Elizabethan religious settlement, which aimed to establish a moderate form of Protestantism in England. Act of Uniformity. This act mandated the use of the Book of Common Prayer in all church services and established a standard form of worship for the Church of England. It sought to create religious unity within the kingdom by blending elements of both Protestant and Catholic traditions, with the aim of appeasing both factions. The Poor Laws. These laws aim to address issues of poverty and unemployment by organising local parishes to provide relief to the poor and needy. They established a system of taxation to fund these relief efforts and created workhouses to provide employment and training for those unable to work. At 10 a.m, Queen Elizabeth would devote time to reading and responding to letters and other correspondence from her subjects, courtiers, and foreign dignitaries. This task was an essential part of her daily routine, as it allowed her to stay informed about the affairs of her kingdom and maintain diplomatic relations with other countries. Elizabeth was known for her eloquent writing style and her fluency in several languages, including Latin, Greek, French, and Italian. This linguistic ability allowed her to communicate effectively with foreign diplomats and rulers, as well as her own subjects who hailed from diverse linguistic backgrounds. During this time, the Queen would be assisted to by her secretaries, who would help her draft responses and manage the voluminous correspondence that came her way. Sir Francis Walsingham, her principal secretary, played a crucial role in managing her correspondence and gathering intelligence for her. He was also known for his extensive spy network, which helped to keep Elizabeth informed of potential threats and conspiracies. The correspondence the Queen would receive covered a wide range of topics, from political alliances and trade agreements to requests for patronage, personal letters from friends and family, and petitions from her subjects. Reading and responding to these letters allowed Elizabeth to maintain a strong connection with her subjects and to stay aware of their needs and concerns. Through her correspondence, Queen Elizabeth was able to project her authority, showcase her intelligence and wisdom, and foster a sense of loyalty and devotion among her subjects. Her letters and responses were often marked by a thoughtful diplomatic tone, reflecting her pragmatic approach to ruling and her keen understanding of the complex political landscape of her time. Please continue to support my channel by subscribing. Please comment, like and subscribe if you wish for more stories, and leave your suggestions below and I will endeavour to cover them.